All right, guys, I had a request to do some videos on the table. We have quite a few tables here in the club. This first one you guys might have seen making some internet rounds. Friend John made this one a few years back, and the club, he moved and wanted to sell it to the club. Bought it from him. It's an amazing table. Lights and a sound bar in this thing, so you can change the colors of the lights right now. But these servo skull looking things hold dice and other stuff. Really cool. He did a phenomenal job. This is an 8x4 one. He had a very early version of like one of these battle mats. They've like since then, you know, gotten a lot better. But great table. And moving over here, this is a new 4x4 one that I just finished working on today. This was an old wood box that was made to hold a bunch of boxes of comic books. It actually came from a local comic book store here, Brainstorm Comics, and the owner was like selling them. So I bought it years ago. I mean, like probably like 20 years ago, and would set a 4x4 table on top of them. And then I had areas that I kind of store my box of comics. So sort of making a simple 4-foot zone table. Can be used with other stuff. And just, you know, actually just built it out of some scrap wood that we picked up. But you put it on wheels so we can roll it out of here if you want to go out on the, you know, on the driveway or whatnot. But nice little table. This is the big 12x4 one right here. It's seen better days. We actually had to tear it apart when we moved, and I'm just putting it back together. I can like see the difference. Like this needs to be another coat of stain, and pulling it apart. Like I said, caused a little bit of damage. We had to replace 1 or 2 boards, but I finally put some lights in it. I got 1 or 2 issues of work on the lights. It's got multiple shelves to put boxes. I put these little swivel things in here recently as well, mainly to hold reserve units, because we always had this thing where we put this for dice and beer and stuff like this in your book if you want to keep some books open. And because we added this big platform, a lot of guys put their models here, but then like somebody will walk by or bump it with their shoulder and they'll knock the model onto the table or then off the table. And since now we don't have carpet anymore, we have these concrete floors, which isn't going to be permanent, but still, like, you know, a resin model or something hits that, it just explodes. So I made 2 of these thus far, and this on a simple hinge, but that way, you know, you can pull your stuff out, you can put it back in there, easy peasy. And I built 2 of those boxes. And again, this is just like kind of scrap wood that I used and just stained it up to match. You know, I've got 2 of these in. I want to do 2 more on the other side. But guys, there's other cases in there, and it's also lit underneath. So if we store terrain or anything in there, you can see it. This other one's not working as well. I gotta finish wiring that. The table's lit as well. This gives a little bit of ambiance, especially when you have it, you know, cue to music or something. But there's a couple of things we got to go back in and fill with glue and add some more stain. And this is some matte black finish on some MDF board. And these, buddy of mine picked them up at IKEA. They work pretty well in there. But we do a lot of, you know, of course 30K here, but if you want to do a giant game, that's possible as well. This is just a kind of a table from a buddy of mine. He just you know, when space is not available, this folds up. It's 4 foot by 2 foot sections of styrofoam that's like kind of hinged, so it folds up pretty easily. And we're gonna replace this with another table and use the storage stuff again. And then Sean just built this table. This was kind of cool. Let me get a little bit lower. Not in my face, buddy. Back up. Fuss, Platz. Okay. We put this one on wheels as well, but these cabinets kind of came, like kind of conveyed with the house. They're like for auto mechanic parts. The guy who owned the house before me left here, and I was like, oh man, I got a perfect use for them. So we just put 2 of them back to back, and you know, now we have storage in there. And this is the zone table we're working on right now. We were just painting that today, and we're kind of trying to do some color matching because we got some stencils, I think, from the 30K channel. So shout out to them. And they worked really well. So this one is pretty much the colors that I want. But we added some like different colors here and there just to kind of mix it up. some different, landing zones. But the difficult part was actually getting the metals to match because we use a rattle can. So like this one right here, I'm probably gonna go back and hit with more of a bolt gun. But after you wash it and everything, it gives it some variety. This is a one that I did a way back, and I just didn't like the way the yellow looked compared to this, because this is 3 different colors airbrushed on to kind of give it the different values there. And because I had a stencil, I was able to knock them all out at the same time. It was really fast. So the stencil was the shape of this, and I just put tape on the stencil, and just used the same piece to do all of these. I mean, there's a little bit of bleed through, but I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely working, and the zones has been really enjoyable. So over here, this is the last little 4 foot by 4 foot. This one's on wheels too, so you can kind of see the shape. This one isn't as finished as the one you just saw over there, but we're gonna add another cap up here so stuff doesn't fall out. But this is an old table. Believe it or not, I think this table, I might be making this up, but I think this one came from the original Glen Burnie Games Workshop back in the day, or College Park, I'm sorry. Like it was in the mall out there, and it just like kind of got passed around in the community when that changed or whatever. So like, as old and beat up as this table is, I kind of want to leave it that way. I mean, I've painted it different colors. There's like snow terrain on it at one point, and just used to be a display piece. So, and we're slowly getting there. These 2 items will be gone from the space here soon. We got the AdMech up and running. Put some lights in the cases. This is kind of our Istavan 3 case over here with those legions. And we've got some of these flags, which are really cool. 40K Space Wolves, Raven Wing Army. I'm probably trying to sell. I guess Dark Angels are in vogue now, so they'll probably go pretty easy. This is kind of Loyalist armies. You guys have seen this before. And we have something planned for this in the near future. I just picked up this case, kind of like, we're gonna raise it up like I did these other cases, so it's more eye level. And we got some guys in the club with some Titans that we're gonna fill in there in a cool like display type of thing. The Wolves case, and then over here we have the rest of other legions, 4th, 8th, and 14th, 16th. What is the Lord R's Legion? The 16th, right? No, 17th. Whew, people are screaming right now. So, getting there. Got some of the artwork up. And then that table over there is kind of one that's in progress too. You can see the same type of drawers. That platform right there rolls as well. So one of the goals is to be able to have the tables roll, because I can take them out of the big doors, and we can game outside and then roll them back in here in this very level driveway and whatnot. So we'll make that happen here in the near future, and then it'll actually help me out when I redo the floors. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and probably have some more updates here in the near future. Just wanted to give you that shot of the tables. Later.